plow through that. You like the moves? I know you did. Alright, so this is how I'm going to 10x my business in 2026 and how you can do the same. So in this video, you can expect a clear roadmap of the actions, the pieces that I'm going to implement in my business from a Portuguese consultant into your business as well. So in a sense, you can take little pieces out of my strategy and what I'm actually doing and why I'm doing it, and take a look at your business and probably get your notepad out or your computer, sit down, grab your coffee, right? Enjoy, and let's take this moment to really plan 2026 so we can fucking crush this year. So let's go. So my main objective within 2026 is to make my yearly income my monthly income. And this might sound wild or just crazy to some people. If you actually build a step-by-step plan and aim for a goal and then deconstruct it, actually becomes much more attainable than it actually seems like it. So in 2025, my yearly income was 50K, and for bigger entrepreneurs, that's nothing, and I still think that's nothing. But my goal is to make that by January, by February, March. Actually, it's really March, like before my birthday, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to walk you to the step-by-step game plan that I'm going to implement and how I'm actually going to do that. So let's start out by the biggest shift that I'm going to make. I'm going to actually start serving a broader market. So the English market, UK market, the European market, instead of just the Portuguese market. And many people ask me, Samuel, why is that? Actually, nobody fucking asked, but I'm making a point out of it. Well, very simple. I think the Portuguese market has the Portuguese country has 100 million, not 100, 10 million people. That's very small. Like compared to Brazil, like São Paulo or Brasilia has 224 million people. That is wild. So the total addressable market is very, very small within my niche that are mainly coaches and consultants or mentors that already have the right attention, have a big personal brand and have the attention part of the business figured out and want to convert higher and get higher ticket clients. That's where I mainly help. So in the Portuguese market, that's reason number one. The total addressable market is very small compared to, well, the whole world. And if you're looking into your business, the first question that you should make yourself is, all right, how can I get into a bigger market? How can I serve more people that actually have the money to pay me? That's question number one. How can I do that with the least friction as possible? So that's point number one. And point number two is, you've all heard of sell to rich people, right? Because they have a lot of money, they want the solution quick, fast, and they're ready to move forward compared to a lower tier market that doesn't have a lot of money, it's very scared, it operates on a scarcity mindset. So point number two is really operate within a market that has a lot more money. And there's kind of a third reason as well, because me in the Portuguese market and the type of clients that I'm working with currently, because the market's small and the prices are smaller as well, compared to the other market, like for me doing good results and getting my clients results still ain't shit in the bigger market, in the English market compared to other people. Not because there's not the skills and the systems didn't work, but because the systems and the amount of people and clients in Portugal that I work with are also in the Portuguese market. So they're not going to have amazing results as well. And when I say amazing, is like, for example, like the average AOV for a fitness client right now is like 70 to 100. I work with a lot of fitness coaches. It's like 70, 100 per month per client. That's wild. So if I go to a bigger market where you can actually sell high tickets fitness coaching, and it's starting to pick up in the Portuguese market. But if I go to a very developed market, like the AOV just skyrockets, like 500, 1000. And that's very different because, well, people just have more money. right? And that means the same input that I do and my clients do actually produces more cash, produces more volume, produces more results. So it's just a no-brainer move, right? So it just means I'm gonna 10x my results. All right, so that's point number one. Fucking raw dog the English market. Attack one specific country. I'm going to the UK as well because they're getting fucking attacked right now by, I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, that's point number one. And the first goal is to close my first English client. I've got like 11 clients right now in the Portuguese market. I'm going to just obtain one through pure raw dog force. Just outreach like a motherfucker. That's mainly how I get all my clients. And I've gotten quite good at it, so I just need to do that in English. So that's point number one. The second big change that I'm going to do in my business and in my life actually is just redo my whole routine. Like my normal day is just wake up, roll out of bed, get a coffee, get to work, start answering client messages, start doing sales related activities within like prospecting, doing like sales calls, and then I just roll over into a fucking like more delivery, some client calls, then I go into marketing, and then I go to the gym and just then review some calls after the gym, some client calls. And yeah, that's mainly how I structure my day. What's the problem? I'm not doing, and you probably can see that in your business as well, you're not doing the most leveraged tasks that actually going to move the business forward in the beginning. And I'm kind of doing it in the sense of doing sales related activities, money generating activities, but that's not what's going to get the business forward. It will get some cash in the door, cool, but it won't grow the business. For example, marketing, building systems. So that's the big shift, changing my routine. How is it going to be? How is my routine going to look like? First of all, start the day out right. Get up, walk my dog, go for a walk, like get the body moving, get the flow going, you know, and just get outside. That's the first thing, without thinking about work, without thinking about nothing, just gonna walk my dog, and that's it. Not sure if I'm gonna hear any music, any manifestation or something like that. Might try it out, but non-negotiable, walk my dog. Part number two, go to the gym. And I've gone to the gym like at 6 a.m. And I've tried it and I kind of felt a little bit tired. And since then I've switched to going to the gym later in the day, like 7, 8 until like 9, 10 p.m. What's the problem with that? It's cool. You can decompress and just finish off the day like very, very good. I'm going to the gym after recording this video. But the problem is you're missing out. If I do it in the morning, I'll have so much more energy and I'll be so much more awake and already having that winning mentality of like smashing a workout in and being super pumped. And when I get home, when I go to something else, I can actually just shower at the gym and just hit some fucking cafe or go to the mall and work. I can do one very good thing, which is marketing. If I can smash marketing, like do some stories, do some reels, do a YouTube video right away, like that's the biggest ROI, that's the biggest leverage. So for you, I'd say, what is the biggest lever that you can pull in your business to have not a short-term gain, but a long-term gain? For example, I can just keep doing outreach and get a lot of clients, that's cool, but it's one input and one output, one message, one potential client. It's not scalable. I have to and I've tried like having like 3 setters doing outbound. It's a fucking hell. And it's hard to motivate them. So you have to create leverage. You have to create attention. You have to create a brand that works for you. Like you producing YouTube videos, you producing Instagram videos, like that's a full marketing team. Like one input, one YouTube video, this is gonna reach like 500 to 1,000 people. right? That's like, I don't know, a week worth of outreach, depending on how many messages you're sending. So just comparing the ROI, sure, I might not have that instant feedback of, oh yeah, he answered, he went on a call and I got a client, sure, but over time it will build up a brand. I'm actually building leverage because every person that's coming in from organic, coming from ads, coming from DMs is actually going to see my content. How good is it? How I position myself, how I talk to the camera, what I've been done, my testimonials, my client results, like the knowledge. He'll see everything. And that will just build so much authority, so much social proof, so much trust that, I mean, I don't even have to hop on a sales call anymore. Just, all right, send me the link. I want to work with you. That's the beauty of marketing. Like one input, like communication one-to-many, not one-to-one. Like, for example, sales. So, like in going back to the gym thing, why is it important and has such a big impact on the business? Because if you wake up and you just start doing tasks, you're not very awake. You're not very in this flow state. You're not very, your face fucked up because of the sleep. You have fucking scratches on your face from the pillow. Like, you're not going to present yourself to the world like that, right? So if you just get up, go outside, hit the gym, you're going to take a shower. You're going to be wake up. You're going to be energized. So, like, you're ready to roll, bro. You're ready to fucking go record videos, do some Instagram stories, all that stuff, right? So hit the fucking gym in the morning. Like, win the fucking day. Then, I already mentioned this. I'm going to do outreach, specifically 30 DMs per day, myself, not including the setter, to English accounts. Because even though I just talk about marketing and leverage, I still have to fucking get the money, right? And close the client and help him out and get my first case study in the English market. And I know I can do that because I've done it a fuck ton in the Portuguese market, right? It might be a little hard at first, but I'm just gonna fucking raw dog that shit, right? And they'll just open up a very big door for me because it will just say, yes, Samuel, you can fucking actually do this. And I am gonna do that. Fucking watch. Right. One other big thing is I am fucking prohibited of doing Portuguese content. I had this biggest limiting belief that was for the last year, I'd say, because I only started like real entrepreneurship, like alone, having my business. I'd say in the past year, I was doing sales back in 2024. Yeah, in 2024 I was big in sales, basically the whole year. I was doing call center, then high ticket sales, like medium ticket sales in Portugal, to be honest. But yeah, the biggest lever that I could pull is do exactly this, get to the English market, because of the reasons that I've already talked to. So I can no longer record in Portuguese, right? And I'm gonna do two things: build out my YouTube content, right? Full marketing team, build a full ecosystem of YouTube, point number one. And I'll have two Instagram accounts. One in the US, so my content gets pushed out for the English market, for the European market, like the English market. Like everybody speaks English, so I'll just, I don't know, fucking 1000x my total addressable market right there. And yeah, build my personal brand on my Instagram account, and I'll keep posting on my old account that I'm going to do outreach from on my old phone, right, on this phone. I'm going to buy a new phone that I can use a VPN and then get it to be a US citizen. So that's another big key area. And for you, my question is, what action are you not taking because you're thinking out of fear, thinking out of insecurity, that you know deep down that's gonna fucking 10x your business? There is something in your business, in your life, that you know if you stop doing, or if you do the opposite, you're gonna 10x your business. And I'm not talking about like big words, oh, 10x, 100x, 1000x. No, actually, what's the one thing that you're going to do in 2026 that's you are no longer tolerating because you know you'll have so much upside. It might be hard in the beginning, right? But in the long term, it's going to be worth it. Do that. Right after closing my first English client, I'm going to do this. I'm going to reinvest every single penny. Not every single, it's not that hard. Every single piece of money of that into my... After my first English client, one non-negotiable thing that I'm going to do is invest in a DM setter and rip it on ads. Just going to do some content, go all in on content, YouTube, Instagram, and do ads for my new account. So it keeps running the flow, right? And building out the lead flow. So not aiming for gross profit. No, I'm running for lead flow. I'm aiming for lead flow. Like I need to get fucking clients as fast as possible in the sense of, yeah, I'm taking fucking over. So reinvesting every single penny into lead and client acquisition. Like DM setter, starting on an account, doing 50 to 100 messages a day, just fucking raw dogging that shit, and like investing into ads so I can get more data, get more feedback within like, oh, people aren't clicking the ad, cool, need better creatives. People aren't converting, why? Is it the messaging? The messaging is fucked, right? Fix the messaging. And just plow through that. You like the moves, I know you did. Right. Action number 3. I'll pay 5% to my director, my creative director, 5% of commissions of the business. Why? Because he'll actually have an incentive to do more stuff in my business, like do YouTube thumbnails, do like other stuff, design story sequences. That's a very big one as well. And yeah, just make him get more out of the business. And I'm glad to do that. So propose my editing guy exactly that. And so far we've only talked about like getting more clients, lead acquisition or client acquisition, but what happens to the delivery part of things? Because if you're gonna 10x your business, you can't all just have like more clients, like you're gonna run out of time. Because I'm a solo entrepreneur. I've had a team, but well, I fucking learned that I wasn't quite there yet. And so yeah, one step back so I can take 2 steps forward. So I'm going to reverse engineer this. All right, how many clients for 50K? Well, it depends on my AOV, right? So let's think about it. All right, we've talked about I'm going to get more clients and higher paying clients, but how I'm going to deliver? Because I've calculated how many hours I have per day. Not per day, per week, per month, that I actually spend delivering, not working on sales and marketing. And that takes me to these numbers. I am spending on average 4 hours per client per week, and that's 16 hours per month. That's a lot. So counting like one weekly call, let's say around the week, if I spend 2 hours, this is probably an exaggeration, but let's account for that. 2 hours messaging back and forth, and let's say 1 hour reviewing somebody's call or making a document or whatever. Let's aim for 4 hours. That's 16 hours a month, like I said. And I only have 8 hours per day to deliver. And if I start signing clients, I'm gonna run out of fucking time. So, how many hours is that per month? That's 240. And I did the math, and that adds up to only 15 clients, right? And right now in the Portuguese market, my AOV is 1.4K. So I'm just limited to 21K if I just sign 15 new clients. And I'm like, the business, I can't deliver. Like if I sign 15 more clients, I'm fucked. All right. Should I hire a coach? Should I hire like somebody to help me out in the delivery? No, we're gonna follow this method, EAD, that I saw from an entrepreneur guy. Like eliminate, automatize, and delegate. All right. Can we eliminate certain tasks? Well, I have to, and I want to, like spend more time with my clients. So I'm not going to eliminate that call. Can I automatize it? No. Can I delegate it? No. I'm not in the part of delegating to a coach. No, fuck that. I actually want to deliver it and be with my clients. So can I automatize that? Still can't. So yeah, I have to keep that. Solution number one, right? If I can just 2x my AOV, my average order value, to 3K, well, that changes things. That's why I'm entering the English market as well. And that would just, if I signed 15 clients, that would jump up to 42K a month if I signed 15 clients. But my average client, or I average out on 4 to 5 new clients a month. So the next step is, all right, I can't eliminate service delivery. Can I automatize it? And that's a better question. All right, how can I lower my service delivery for 2 hours? Cool, per week, exactly. So I can, instead of, and then I can actually close double the clients. I can go up to 30 clients actively. Let's say if I can only spend 2 hours with my clients on client work, if I systematize things, I can actually deliver to 30 clients. Yeah, 30 clients. And if I jump up my AOV to 3K average, well, that just means I doubled my clients, I doubled my AOV per client. So if that was 21 to 42, I just reached my capacity of my business to 84K a month, which is very nice. Right, now I have to actually do the volume and get 30 clients. All right, but it's going to be impossible, in a nightmare, to deliver. So, all right, what parts of the business can I actually automate? Cool. One thing that I've worked in today is I can actually automatize my reviewing of the sales calls. That's a big one. So I've actually built an AI that within my sales process, and I've just fucking gone all in and like geeked out on the sales process, in the call, in the discovery, and the pitch, and all that stuff. And I've trained it on my calls. So all that stuff, still review 1 or 2 sales calls, because my past experience, like once I like review 1 to max 3, like I know the problem of the client, like the big arching problems, and we can actually just work on that. And typically the sales conversion just doubles, which is very fucking good. And from then on, I can just get this AI to review like the main problems with the calls. So yeah, from then on, I don't actually have to spend a lot more time just reviewing calls and endless calls. And actually the guys, my clients, can actually go to the AI first, get like a resume, and like implement, and then if there's any like they need it, I'll actually review, no problem. But yeah, one big thing is some clients are still figuring out like the social media stuff, right? How can I automatize copy, reels, and content production with AI? Right, so I'm documenting my whole structure of content, like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, client attraction triggers, hooks, emotional heavy words, like really have a very built out system that they can implement, like what type of client, what type of offer, and can actually like do some content for them. Because I've spent a lot of time with each client, like going deep in the content, actually makes people buy, what actually makes people like follow and just like comment and all that stuff, and just build a personal brand. So instead of like going endless times through that, well, first of all, I can record some content around it. That's point number one. Second of all, I can actually just build AI for them. They can actually help them through building out a content ecosystem. All right. So I also added here, so instead of like going over the calls, I can actually record some videos of what I've like been consistently going over with each client, and boom, they'll have the clients they'll have the content there. So we can leave the calls that I'm actually on with them and doing one-on-one calls can actually be more strategic and actually be more like in terms of beliefs, in terms of all right, what do I do next? So it'll be much more high level. And so this next step was actually something I was going to debate, and I'm still exploring if it makes sense, and I think I do. I think it does make sense. I actually cut my 1 hour calls to 30-minute calls. So what does that do? Instead of us like spending 1 hour and just kind of going all over the place, which sometimes happens, like, right, we got 30 minutes. How can we like ROI the fuck out of this the most, right? So 30 minutes per week, and keep the like super objective. Keep the convo super objective, right? And because my service is a lot about sales and conversion, leave the heavy lifting of sales and actually like the sales training, the conversion mechanisms, all to a group call, because most of them like share the same problems. So what I'm going to do is actually, and because sales, like, it's not an information game. Like, of course you have to know the information and what to actually say, but you actually have to be the person that implements it and like on the spot, like does it. So that requires training. And who the fuck trains sales when they're not selling? Fucking nobody. That's the problem number one of like closers, salespeople, and even coaches that sell their own offer. So I have to fucking make them train. So role plays and all that conversion, discovery, like pitching, objection handling, like within a group call, and they can actually enjoy, they can actually like get a better ROI because they're training sales, not just hearing about sales. So that's one change I'll make, right? So training sales and actually conversion on one spot, one call, and leave the 30 minutes one for a more strategic and more high-level overview of the business. All right. And just have a better WhatsApp and support through text message and like pre-recorded videos and AI support. Now the marketing. Marketing is very important because obviously we've talked about it. First thing is I'm going to implement my positioning that I'm just starting out on the market. I'm hungry for results in a bigger market, which is true. And I have very good and proven results in the Portuguese market, because if I can get these results in the Portuguese market with a very small TAM and people pay less in general and have smaller pockets, imagine what the fuck the ROI is going to be on the English market, where the AOV is like 4 times higher and like the total addressable market is like 10 times bigger. That's wild. So that's my angle of approach. I'm going to double down on IG content top of funnel so I can attract on my Instagram personal brand, and select top of funnel content in middle of funnel niche down content. So pieces of, for example, like these types of videos, just fucking my coffee, let's go Portugal, and specific stuff on my content that people can resonate with. And yeah, that's Samuel. That motherfucker, Samuel Alexander. I'm going to invest in ads to a specific audience in north of Europe to have better qualification and qualified conversations and close my first English client. Within sales, I'm going to onboard a new setter to do the outbound and the heavy lifting and qualify the prospects that are coming within the marketing. I'm going to do a rev share with them and just coach them in general and growth. I already have someone in mind. If not, if it doesn't work out, I'll just find a new person. Have him qualify and do the booking process, and after that, track the fucking metrics. Because if you can't measure it, you can't scale it. That's very important. Track everything, which I've actually had a really good call with a friend in a networking group that he actually shared a very good tracking sheet for us to track all the data within the business. And yeah, for me, my main priority is just closing deals, deliver, and do marketing. That's the biggest shift. And that was it. That's the plan for 2026. My goal is to make my yearly salary, not fucking salary, my yearly income, my monthly income by the 1st of March. Stay tuned.